there, I'm Azaria Tagaya, and you're tuning into Nightline, the top stories. Google to invest 9.4 billion ringgit in Malaysia, create more than 26,000 job opportunities. And students from Year 4 until tertiary level education to receive book vouchers worth 100 ringgit. Good morning. After notable digital entities like Amazon Web Services, Google has now announced plans to invest 9.4 billion ringgit in Malaysia. The global technology giant aims to establish its first data center and cloud region in the country, creating 26,500 employment opportunities by 2030. Job opportunities spanning across the healthcare, education and finance sectors will yield a total economic impact valued at 15 billion ringgit. The Malaysia Cloud region will become part of the existing 40 regions and 121 zones globally, addressing the increasing demand for cloud services both domestically and internationally. Additionally, there will be artificial intelligence literacy programs for Malaysian students and educators. In a statement, the Trade and Investment Ministry said the investment stems from a series of engagements between Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim and Alphabet and Google President Ruth Porat. It also marks Google's most substantial investment in Malaysia to date. Porat, in a statement, said the investment will create a supportive ecosystem for innovation and unlock the potential of digital transformation. The Google Data Center will be situated in Elmina Business Park in Shah Alam. Google's widely used digital services such as Search, Maps and Workspace will be fueled by the Google Data Center. When operational, Malaysia will join the 11 countries where Google has built and currently operates data centers to global users. The Prime Minister, meanwhile, said Google's investment will support the government's agenda to expedite and smoothen the country's digital transformation. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said it also proves that the government's clear planning, alongside the country's economic strength and resources, is attracting both existing and new investors. In his social media post on Thursday, Anwar said the investment places Malaysia as one of the leading countries in the provision of support services for digital technology-based services. He said this has propelled Malaysia's footing as one of the key players in the use of digital technology as well as a support service provider. The Prime Minister also revealed that in a virtual meeting with Google's senior management on May 6th, he emphasized that aside from the use of artificial intelligence AI, there must be strategic cooperation in the areas of education, healthcare and agriculture. He said this is important to ensure that Malaysia can take advantage of the latest technology-based skills and approaches. And later in the day, at an event in the federal capital, Anwar said Google's investment will benefit the people.
Tadi pagi Google umum hampir 9.5 bilion ringgit beli tanah di Selangor dan jadikan ini pusat pergerakan Google. Saudara, kalau negara luar tunjuk minat dari bidang digital dan artificial intelligence, anak-anak kita tak tahu apa dia digital dan artificial intelligence. Rugi besar kita.
With strategic initiatives and substantial investments from leading companies like Google, Malaysia is well positioned to become a key player in the global digital economy, driving technological advancements and economic development in the region. The technology giant's largest planned investment in Malaysia also shows that the country is not reliant on a particular source of foreign direct investment, FDI.
Now we're seeing some very high-profile investments from the United States, which shows that Malaysia is widening out its portfolio so that it isn't reliant upon a particular or single source of foreign direct investment. And that's good because it reduces the risk and it leads to diversity of opportunities in terms of the potential investment sources.
Google's new commitment is a key milestone in the Madani government's vision to attract more digital investors into the country and is expected to result in a huge total economic impact.
There are long-term spillovers into the wider economy so that we will see opportunities for local Malaysian suppliers, we will see a larger number of job opportunities, and we will see a larger number of training opportunities so that we can see from one generation to the next that there is a long-term impact. And this then will help to underpin a structural change. arising from the foreign direct investment and to make sure it's not just a one-off thing. And the very size of these investments helps us to feel confident that this will have a long-term and positive impact on the economy as a whole.
Google's announcement comes several weeks after Microsoft said it would invest 10.5 billion ringgit in AI and cloud computing in Malaysia. Later in the evening, the Prime Minister said the multinational express transportation company FedEx plans to expand its business in Malaysia, especially by using the existing facilities at several airports. In a social media post on Thursday evening, Anwar said this was revealed during his meeting with FedEx Corp President and Chief Executive Officer of Airline and International, Richard Smith, who paid him a courtesy call at his office in Putrajaya on Thursday. The Prime Minister said FedEx currently operates 30 flights weekly in Malaysia, connecting local industries to its global network across 220 countries and territories. He said that during the meeting, he also received positive feedback regarding the government's approach to translating the Madani economy agenda. Among other things, FedEx sees the proposed Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone as a significant future economic growth collaboration that should be leveraged. FedEx is a multinational company that has been established in Malaysia since 1993 in the fields of transportation, e-commerce and business services. Students from Year 4 until tertiary level education will receive book vouchers worth 100 ringgit starting Friday. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the book voucher assistance will be available after 2 p.m.
Jadi kita akan anjurkan senarai buku-buku supaya sebahagian daripada wang itu digunakan untuk membeli buku-buku yang diusulkan, dan sebahagian mungkin kita beri kelonggaran untuk anak-anak memilih sendiri.
Anwar said this when launching the KL International Book Festival 2024 on Thursday. The Prime Minister said that for this year, the voucher assistance will start with the standard for pupils due to the financial constraints faced by the government. The vouchers are also eligible for secondary school students, college and university students, as well as teaching institutes. Anwar said the mechanism to claim the vouchers would also be revealed at the same time on Friday. 1 million fleet cards have been readied by fuel companies in preparation for registrations under the subsidized diesel control system SKDS 2.0 program ahead of rationalized diesel subsidies. Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Dato' Armizan Muhammad Ali said this was to ensure swifter processing of applications under the system, which is estimated to benefit some 410,000 vehicles.
Dari segi kecepatan itu, proses itu, kalau dulu peringkat awal pelaksanaan syarikat-syarikat minyak memberikan komitmen bahawa fleet card itu boleh diproses dan dikeluarkan dalam tempoh 4 ke 6 minggu. Tetapi ada syarikat-syarikat minyak yang kini boleh menyediakan fleet card tersebut dalam tempoh kurang 7 hari.
Armizan spoke to the media after attending the ministry's SKDS 2.0 Open Day in Putrajaya. He said eligible vehicles under the program can also make their applications online. Armizan said the system is integrated with MySeaCup, which is under the Road Transport Department, allowing applicants to check the status of their applications in real time. It is also integrated with the Companies Commission of Malaysia system, where applicants only have to submit their company registration number. He added that if the submitted information is complete, their application can be approved almost instantly. The tragic crash involving 2 Royal Malaysian Navy RMN aircraft on April 23rd was mainly caused by the Fennec helicopter deviating from its designated altitude and course and entering the flight path of the AW139 helicopter. RMN Chief Admiral Tan Sri Abdul Rahman Ayub said that the secondary factor of the crash was the channelized detention of the AW139 helicopter crew, who were focused on changing course, thereby limiting their reaction to avoid the collision. The RMN chief disclosed this when he released the final report on the crash at a media conference on Thursday. Abdul Rahman said the Board of Inquiry's report did not attribute the crash to human error because the Fennec helicopter was not equipped with a black box. He said the Board of Inquiry used the black box analysis report from the AW139 helicopter to aid the investigation, while for the Fennec aircraft, the flight profile was reconstructed through flight simulations using a real helicopter.
Lembaga siasatan telah membuat kesimpulan bahawa faktor penyebab kemalangan adalah seperti berikut. Faktor utama, pesawat Fennec tidak berada pada ketinggian dan haluan yang telah ditetapkan serta memasuki laluan pesawat AW139. Itu faktor utama. Faktor sekunder, channelized attention oleh kru pesawat AW139 yang tertumpu ke arah penukaran haluan telah menghadkan reaksi bagi mengelak pelanggaran.
Abdul Rahman said the autopsy reports confirmed that there were no issues of hypoglycemia or signs of fatigue among all the aircrew and no use of prohibited substances. He added that samples of oil, lubricants and fuel from both helicopters were tested and confirmed to be normal. The AW139 chopper was carrying 7 personnel while the Fennec was carrying 3 crew members. They were rehearsing for RMN's 90th anniversary celebration. All 10 on board the 2 helicopters were killed in the crash at the RMN base in Lumut. Any parties wishing to verify the process for the award of Selangor's Demand Responsive Transit DRT pilot project can request for documents or meeting minutes from the authorities. Selangor Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Amiruddin Shari said his administration is always open to sharing such information without needing to hide anything.
Kita tak ada masalah. Kita ada jawatan kuasa Dewan dan kita boleh buka, mereka boleh minta minit mesyuarat yang turut dihadiri oleh aparat. Tak ada masalah. We are very open. Kita ada kebebasan maklumat. Akta kebebasan maklumat atau elemen kebebasan maklumat yang memberi ruang untuk mereka dapatkan dokumen.
Previously, it was reported that Asia Mobility had only been given the license to provide the proof of concept POC for the DRT project. Amiruddin emphasised that through an open tender process, only 2 companies, Badan Bus Coach Sendirian Berhad and Asia Mobility, had the authorisation from the APAD to conduct the POC. The appointment of the DRT operating company has been disputed when it was alleged that it was not through an open tender and that the Chief Executive Officer of Asia Mobility is the husband of Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh. Still to come, UK Parliament dissolved ahead of July election.
From the high seas to the halls of education, learn from the best on how to navigate crisis.
We as a woman, and the role is the same at home, at work. As a lady, we do our decision in our team very systematic.
We must be an independent learner. Like I said, lifelong learning is very important. We manage crisis all the time. We must not go through a crisis of confidence because we can make it. We can do anything and everything we want to do.
Nak cari tempat untuk OOTD? Persembahan Cahaya Interaktif Serius boleh buat gambar korang seleh habis. Raikan ulang tahun ke-40 TV3 dengan keajaiban pameran seni digital Immersio Inspirasi Generasi by TV3 dari 20 Mei hingga 9 Jun di Museum Telekom Kuala Lumpur. Jom, ajak family, kawan dan partner sekali, okey? Selamat Hari TV3! #Inspirasi Generasi. Kami sentiasa bersamamu.
Sananana.
Inilah dia generasi FOMO ni, fear of missing out. Dia takut ketinggalan.
Mestilah. Probiotik dan prebiotik ketahui apakah fungsinya pada badan kita.
AI dari hobi biasa menjadi pendapatan yang sangat lumayan.
Jenayah kecurian kereta, waspada dan ambil tahu.
Serta Muflis ketahui dasar peluang kedua.
Semua ini di MHI setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat.
Juga di aplikasi tonton.
Hanya di TV3.
Back with the foreign news, the British Parliament formally dissolved on Thursday ahead of the July 4th general election, which polls indicate opposition party Labour is expected to win over the ruling Conservative Party. With the dissolution, 5 weeks of campaigning officially began as 650 seats of members of Parliament's MPs became vacant at 1 minute past midnight in line with the electoral schedule. A total of 129 MPs have so far announced that they will not be standing for re-election. Among them are 77 Conservatives, an unprecedented unprecedented exodus for a governing party. Meanwhile, among the Tories standing for re-election, some have made no secret of their annoyance at having been caught off guard by the July election date. The first week of campaigning has seen a shaky start following Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's rain-drenched election announcement, with many observers taking the downpour as a bad omen. Polls have now put Labour on average at 45% of voting intentions against 23% for the Tories. This suggests that, given the simple majority voting system, Labour is expected to enjoy a very large win. South Korea on Thursday announced its medical schools will accept almost 1,500 additional students next year, pressing ahead with an admissions hike that has caused trainee doctors across the country to go on strike. In a statement, the government said the hike is necessary to address a doctor shortage, arguing that unless action is taken, South Korea faces having 15,000 fewer doctors than it needs to maintain essential services. According to the Education Ministry, medical schools will now accept 4,610 students next year, just shy of President Yoon Suk-yeol's target of 5,000. The Korean Medical Association, which represents private practitioners, said it would stage protests in multiple cities on Thursday night to raise awareness of the risks posed by the admissions hike. Meanwhile, the Korean Health and Medical Workers Union urged trainees doctors to return to work while asking the government to consider all options. The vast majority of trainee doctors, estimated to be around 13,000, have been on strike since late February, with the strain on the healthcare system resulting in hospitals turning away patients. A Hong Kong court found 14 people guilty of subversion on Thursday in the biggest case against pro-democracy campaigners since China imposed a national security law to crush dissent. A short summary of the verdict released by the court said 14 had planned to undermine the power and authority of both the government and chief executive. The trial was held without a jury, and the judges were chosen from a pool of jurors handpicked by Hong Kong's leader. The 14, along with 31 others who pleaded guilty, could face life in jail, with sentencing expected later this year. Beijing imposed a national security law on Hong Kong in 2020 after huge and sometimes violent protests brought the finance hub to a standstill. Authorities then charged 47 people from across a wide cross-section of society with subversion, saying their political activities were aimed at bringing down the government. The Zionist regime pressed on with its offensive on Rafah a day after its forces had taken control of a buffer zone along the nearby border between the Gaza Strip and Egypt, giving it effective authority over Gaza's entire land frontier. In its latest attack on Rafah, the Israeli strikes killed at least 37 Palestinians, including 2 paramedics, as they attempted to rescue wounded people in Tal as-Sultan. Several strikes were also reported across the Strip that caused casualties, including in the Shati camp, Beit Hanun and Nuseirat. The Zionist forces have also launched a new incursion into Jenin in the occupied West Bank, injuring several Palestinians. Gaza's health ministry said at least 53 Palestinians have been killed in the enclave and 357 injured in the past 24 hours.
En consecuencia, queda levantado España. Y Cataluña arde. Europa.
National shuttlers power into Singapore Open quarters. Sports right after this breather.
Mereka dilahirkan sebagai insan istimewa. Ibu bapa perlu memahami apakah developmental milestone. Namun, kelebihan dimiliki menjangkau kemampuan ramai.
Sebahagian autism mereka tak mukallaf.
Autism tak kenal maka tak cinta. Kupasannya dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton. Inspirasi generasi bersamamu di TV3.
1 dan 2 Juni korang buat apa? Jom ikut saya pergi inspirasi bazar di Museum Telekom Kuala Lumpur. Explore pameran seni digital dan persembahan cahaya interaktif yang super cool. Plus, ada pop-up booth yang memang vibe habislah. Lupa nak cakap persembahan baskers juga ada tau. Memang layan habis dari 10 pagi hingga 10 malam. Apa lagi? Dah sampai roja-roja, okey? Selamat Hari TV3. #Inspirasi Generasi. Kami sentiasa bersamamu.
I need you in my life.
You better get somebody else.
I yang rasa sakit tau.
Drama penuh dilema dan paling emosi 2024. Wanita pilihannya bukan satu atau dua, tapi tiga.
Jadi suami pun tak boleh pakai, jadi bapa pun tak guna.
Perebutan harta dan permainan nyawa. Netizen, stream sekarang drama rating tertinggi dan paling tular di Malaysia. Lelaki Itu melalui Tonton.
On to sports now. Badminton. The 2024 Singapore Open, the Malaysian contingent continued their fine performance as most of the national shuttlers booked their berth in the round of 16. The limelight of the day was recorded by young men's singles shuttler Leong Jun Hao, who claimed one of his career's biggest wins on Thursday. 24-year-old Jun Hao did it in emphatic fashion by racing to a 13-1 lead in the rubber game before sealing a 21-14, 10-21, 21-8 win over Indonesia's top shuttler Anthony Ginting, his first victory over the world number 7 in 3 meetings. It is also the first time that Jun Hao has made it to the quarterfinals of a Super 750 level tournament. Jun Hao, however, faces an uphill task to grab a spot in the quarters as he is expected to meet world number 1 Victor Axelsen of Denmark in the last 8 on Friday. In another event, men's doubles world number 16, Go Zifei Nur Izzuddin Unsani stunned China's world number 8, Liu Yuchen Oh Zhuanji 21-13, 21-16 to storm into the quarterfinals. The duo will next play another Chinese pair, He Jiting Ren Xiangyu. Also through to the quarterfinals were national mixed pair Cheng Tangji To Yi-wei. The duo staged a superb comeback from 17-11 down in the first game to claim a 21-17, 21-18 win over Denmark's Mathias Christensen, Alexandra Boyer. They will face world champions Seo Seung-jae, Che Yu-jung next. However, it was the end of the road for another mixed pair, Go Sun-hwa, Chevan Lai. The Malaysia Masters champions gave a good account of themselves by stretching China's world number 1 Zheng Ziwei, Hua Ya-cheong to a rubber game before retiring due to Sun-hwa's knee injury. In another match, national top men's doubles pair Aaron Chia, So Woo-yik moved into the quarterfinals after defeating Li Yang, Wang Qilin of Taiwan. The world number 4 survived a grueling rubber set battle before claiming a 21-18, 21-23, 21-17 win against the Taiwanese pair. However, another men's doubles pair, Man Wei Chong, Pi Kai Woon, was shown the exit on Thursday. They succumbed to world number 5 Kim Astrup and Skarep Rasmussen of Denmark 10-21, 22-20, 19-21. Mixed doubles pair Tan Kian Neng, Lai Pei Jing also suffered a similar fate as they were eliminated by Dutch pair Robin Tabeling, Selina Pirk 18-21, 21-18, 10-21. On to tennis now. The 2024 Roland Garros. World number 2 Yannick Sinner delivered a fine performance in the second round after defeating home favourite Richard Gasquet in straight sets. The reigning Australian Open champion claimed a 6-4, 6-2, 6-4 victory in a match lasting 2 hours and 14 minutes, in which he played with his top form after a recent hip injury. The Italian will next face Pavel Kotov for a place in the last 16. In another match, 6-seeded Andrei Rublev reached the third round, downing Spaniard Pedro Martinez 6-3, 6-4, 6-3. Rublev, who is a 2-time quarterfinalist in Paris, hit 56 winners and broke Martinez's serve 5 times to set a meeting with Frenchman Alexander Muller or Italian Matteo Arnaldi. In the women's action, defending champion Iga Swiatek saved a match point and grabbed the last 5 games to sneak past former world number 1 Naomi Osaka 7-6, 1-6, 7-5 in the second round. With the victory, the 22-year-old Pole's bid for a 3rd consecutive title and 4th overall remains alive. Swiatek will next face 42nd ranked Czech Marie Buskova or Jana Fett, the world number 135 from Croatia. Coming up, 3 KLIA customs officers charged with corruption. Don't go away.
From the high seas to the halls of education, learn from the best on how to navigate crisis.
We as a woman, and the role is the same at home, at work. As a lady, we do our decision in our team very systematic.
We must be an independent learner. Like I said, lifelong learning is very important. We manage crisis all the time. We must not go through a crisis of confidence because we can make it. We can do anything and everything we want to do.
Inspirasi generasi bersamamu di TV3. 1 dan 2 Juni korang buat apa? Jom ikut saya pergi inspirasi bazar di Museum Telekom Kuala Lumpur. Explore pameran seni digital dan persembahan cahaya interaktif yang super cool. Plus, ada pop-up booth yang memang vibe habislah. Lupa nak cakap persembahan baskers juga ada tau. Memang layan habis dari 10 pagi hingga 10 malam. Apa lagi? Dah sampai roja-roja, okey? Selamat Hari TV3. #Inspirasi Generasi. Kami sentiasa bersamamu.
Kalau dengar cerita, janganlah jadi batu api.
Tokok tambah burukkan keadaan.
Bersama daging, gulai umbut, batang pisang, sup gearbox sedapnya.
Menu utara kami bawakan untuk anda.
Ada yang sanggup derita dan biarkan derita seksa.
Takut jadi janda, terus dianiaya. Kita kupaskan isu ini.
Kebelakangan ini, banyak isu berkaitan anak tak sah taraf.
Jika berlaku situasi ini, apa yang anda perlu tahu?
Istimewa kami bawakan kepada anda ulang tahun ke-40 TV3.
Semuanya di WHI.
Dan stream sekarang ditonton.
Back with us on Nightline, another 3 customs officers nabbed in the Op Samba 2.0 crackdown were charged on Thursday in the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court with corruption. They allegedly accepted bribes of between 5,000 ringgit and more than 17,000 ringgit in return for not inspecting a lorry of goods. The accused Alizan Wahid, Shaharuddin Subuh and Ismail Idris pleaded not guilty to the charges. Shaharuddin faces 22 charges of corruption totaling 13,600 ringgit, while Ismail is facing 6 charges involving 5,200 ringgit. Alizan is slapped with 4 charges for accepting 17,500 ringgit. All the accused are alleged to have received the kickback via online transfer to their respective bank accounts from the owner of the import goods and logistics company. The offences were allegedly committed at 3 bank branches between August 2017 and July 2023. They were charged under the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Act 2009. The court has set bail at between 8,000 ringgit and 15,000 ringgit for the accused and set July 2nd and July 10th for re-mention of the case. Over in Selangor, an officer and 2 assistant superintendents from the Customs Department were charged at the Shah Alam Sessions Court with accepting bribes in return for not inspecting a lorry of goods at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA cargo terminal. The 3 accused, Muhammad Nasrizal Uthman, 37, Mazuki A. Kadir, 54 and Ahmad Samiruddin Muhammad Japri, 38, pleaded not guilty after the charge sheet was read separately before Judge Awang Karisnada Awang Mahmud. Muhammad Nasrizal was charged with 5 charges of receiving bribes totaling 1,150 ringgit, while Mazuki was charged with 10 charges of receiving bribes totaling 2,900 ringgit. Ahmad Samiruddin was charged with 9 charges of accepting bribes totaling 4,550 ringgit. The offences were committed between January 2017 and April this year. All the offences were allegedly committed at a bank branch at KLIA and KLIA2 as well as Bandar Baru Salak Tinggi. All of them are accused of corruptly obtaining bribes from a company owner by transferring money online to the respective bank accounts as an inducement not to inspect the company's cargo lorries which carry goods out of the KLIA cargo terminal. They were charged under the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009. The court set bail for Muhammad Nasrizal at 8,000 ringgit and 10,000 ringgit each for Mazuki and Ahmad Samiruddin. Before we conclude this edition of Nightline, let's take a look as the 20th China International Cartoon and Animation Festival kicked off in Hangzhou. With that, I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.